my flaws, still I'm standing 10 feet tall. Mirror, mirror, don't you lie.
When I get up, I'm like, what am I doing? But then when I have the free time to do whatever I want in the morning, I'm like, yes, I love that. This is the ripest that I like the banana. I don't like the banana too ripe or too soft. This is almost overboard for me. His cage wasn't locked, so when I woke up, he was right at my bed, which is so funny.
Writing in the margins of my mind all day, sipping herbal in the morning just to feel okay. Had a dream I was water just flowing through space, till I landed on the record that my grandma would play. Talk sweet like jazz in the park after rain, where the grass smell green and the air feels sane. Put the phone on mute, let the silence explain. I don't need much, just a book in the brain. Used to chase things that were run from me. Now I sit still, let the peace come. I would have been just now getting out the shower at this point and not had any time to really get ready and put on makeup for today. So I am really happy for that. I do not like these lip glosses from the Dollar Tree. This is the Ioni brand, and this brand is actually pretty good, but I don't like this particular gloss. It's like so flimsy, the brush. I'm just getting ready to get my day started. I put on some edge control on my edges, so that's why I have the scarf to lay it down for a few minutes. This is my scent combo of the day. This I had actually got from Burlington. As I mentioned yesterday, it's like the dupe for this Sol de Janeiro. It has notes of vanilla, pistachio, jasmine, caramel, almond, and sandalwood. This is like one of my most recent body spray purchases, and it's almost done. I love this one. It smells so good. And this was only $7.99. I got this from Burlington as well. Don't sleep on Burlington when it comes to the perfumes and the body sprays, okay? You will find some good stuff. I just looked at this bottle and I was like, oh my gosh, this looks so expensive and luxurious. I have to have it. I didn't even know what it smelled like, but it actually does really smell good. It has like an Arabic flair to it, and it's like vanilla. That's why it's called Vanilla Veil. And the notes, the top notes, it says vanilla, orchid, jasmine. Middle notes are brown sugar, tonka bean, and base notes are amberwood, amber, musk, and patchouli. This sitting on your nightstand or on your dresser is just so cute to me. And then I've already mentioned this yesterday, this body butter from Trader Joe's. This has like a more fruity vanilla scent, and these combined together, yeah. I put reminders on my phone whenever it's time to feed Nino, because I can be submerged in my work that I don't realize it's time to feed the dog. So I like to feed him every morning at like 7:40 a.m. and then an hour after that, or hour and a half after that, I set another reminder for him to go outside so he can do his business. What I like to do every week or so, his breed is prone to allergies, so he has allergies. He likes to sneeze and scratch a lot, so we give him a pet allergy pill that looks like this. What this is, I put it inside of a little beef stick. It's like a treat, but it's like a stick. I'll probably show you guys, because I have to actually refill these again, because he's not gonna eat the pill by itself. He'll literally like leave the pill in the bowl and then eat everything else in it. So I put it inside of this. That's a dog tip. Okay, if you're, I mean, it's not really anything new, but you're finding that your pet doesn't like take medicine, just put it inside of a treat. And I put this inside of his dog bowl. I like to keep duplicates of his stuff, like his dog food, upstairs and downstairs, so I'm not running up and down the steps trying to do stuff. So I have his dog food bowl upstairs as well in our room. And then I had made him some oatmeal, just plain oatmeal with water, and this is about the last of it. So I need to make some more food toppers. I already have the salmon defrosting in the refrigerator from last night, so I'll probably cook that. And then I'll drizzle a little bit of this kibble sauce, mix everything up. And for whatever reason, dogs don't really like dog food, so it's like you have to mix it with something, otherwise they're not gonna eat it. I mean, I wouldn't like it either, to be honest. And I make sure to cover up the pill as best as possible, because there has been times where he ate the beef jerky and spat out the pill, even though it was inside of it. So I just make sure I mix everything together. Are you ready for your food? All right, Nino, don't embarrass me. Sit. Okay, go. I feel like recently I discovered the best smoothie recipe that I just made up. I'm gonna show you guys this morning. For 1 week, I just drank smoothies for breakfast straight because of this. The hack is these two supplements right here. My husband's always buying stuff and I end up using it because he doesn't use it after a while. For it not to go to waste, I end up just, you know, experimenting with his stuff. And this stuff right here makes the smoothies taste so, you could put anything in it. You could put fruits or vegetables in it that you don't like. This masks the taste and makes it taste so good. This is a Gamer. It's a ocean water flavor from Ghost. I swear Ghost has some of the best products ever when it comes to like protein powder and supplements. Okay, they have some of the best tasting flavors. This is all the stuff in the back. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really use it for these benefits. I just use it because of the taste. And then these are BCAAs. This is a Sour Patch flavor, and that's what's in there. This is frozen papayas. Not too much fruit because you don't want it too thick, so I just put a little bit, like 3 chunks in there. I have some frozen peaches. I put like that much. I have an apple that I want to get rid of. I'm gonna save a bite for Nino. He's outside right now. Okay, and another hack. I never used to put yogurt in my smoothies because I didn't think it was necessary. Yogurt is necessary for the texture of the smoothie, okay? If you want your smoothie like to have that nice, almost ice cream thick flavor, you need to add yogurt. Before I did not add yogurt, I just added the milk and it would taste, the texture just was not there. I'm gonna add like a couple of spoonfuls. And this is just a vanilla non-fat Greek yogurt. Some kale, for that boost of vitamin C. Is it vitamin C that kale has? No, vitamin K. Okay, girl, I can't remember if it's vitamin C or vitamin K that kale is really rich in. I'm gonna add some coconut extract. I typically don't add this, but I want to see how it tastes like with it. I got this for my Ninja Creamy ice creams that I'm going to make. I also got some xanthan gum because the texture of my Ninja Creamy ice creams are not really all that good, so I'm going to experiment with that. In this container, I had mixed up some, there's 3 things in here. There's chia seeds in here, there's whole flax seeds, and then there's a chia protein powder. I'm going to link a picture in the corner right here. And of course, that's good for the fiber, maybe 1.5 tablespoons of that. I'm only going to do half a scoop of each of these because I think the Gamer one has caffeine in it, and I already had pre-workout, and I also plan on drinking coffee today since I didn't have any yesterday. Okay, and another hack, if you don't have any of these, try getting this. This is the ISO Pure Protein Powder. Okay, this is not necessary, but if you want a fruity taste to your protein smoothie instead of this type of taste, you know, the regular protein powder that's like a vanilla or like any other type of flavor, try using this because this gives it like a juice flavor. This is something else that my husband got that he didn't finish using. Don't worry, he has another container, so I'm not using up all of this stuff, but I take like half a scoop. And then I top everything off with my almond milk. Not too much almond milk or you're gonna make it watery. I already know what it tastes like. It's really good. How I incorporate having a dog into my routine, because sometimes I be thinking like, did I really just add a dog into my life on top of all the other responsibilities that I have? It's not like I regret getting him, but sometimes I can become overwhelmed just with, you know, work, having kids and a household, and then having time for my own self-care. It can be a lot. So for me, with his routines, I try to incorporate with my own routines. So because I came down here for breakfast, I timed it so that at the same time I could take him out. Because I was already coming downstairs to get breakfast, I also took him with me so I can take him out back so he can go use the bathroom after having his breakfast. At lunch, that's when I take him out for a walk. And then I also eat my lunch as well at my desk. So I try not to create extra movement and extra steps. I kind of blend his routines with my routines so that it's not overwhelming for me. And he's just waiting by the door. I got a little treat. Sit. Good job. I'm currently watching... This dude is crazy. I'm currently watching Girl in the Garage, a Laura Cowan story. Girl, it was moving kind of fast in the beginning. I was like, what's going on? But I guess it was moving quickly to get to the main plot. And that movie's on Tubi. It has Paige Hurd in it, and I guess it's about some religious... I did not pick it out because it was religious. I didn't know what the movie was about. It just piqued my interest. It's about a religious man. I guess he's Muslim or Islamic. You know, like the stereotypical how they portray some of these men to be like very controlling, overbearing, whole lot of kids, controlling over the women and stuff like that. So that's basically the vibes that I'm getting from this movie. So I was working and watching that movie, and I'm about to actually refill my vitamin container. So I like to have like this 14-day vitamin container so I don't have to keep getting vitamins out of each bottle. I I try to make my life as easy as possible and try to do systems in place so I'm not doing the same thing over and over again. So this is like one of the systems. I take 10,000 micrograms of biotin for hair, skin, and nails. Now I do have to say, my eyebrows, I'm not gonna lie, I've been using castor oil on them, but I feel like since I've started taking the biotin, they grew out even thicker, like my eyebrows and my eyelashes, which is so crazy because the castor oil does work, but I feel like the biotin has been giving them like an extra boost. And you know, all those Mary Ruth supplements that people like to take online, it has basically, it has a whole bunch of other ingredients too, but like the main ingredient is usually biotin. I have an Allegra. When we first got Nino, I'm not allergic to dogs, but for some reason, like, I don't know if this was in combination to the seasonal allergies as well, but when we first got him, I was getting a bit of allergies. I don't get them as much anymore, but I was taking this consistently. I just put these in one thing because I don't take them every day. I just take them as needed. So I just put it in its own container. Have you guys ever heard about when you take fexofenadine, which is Allegra, generic Allegra, with, I think it's Pepsid together, it can kind of regulate your hormones and even helps with depression and stuff. I'm low-key thinking about getting some Pepsid and combining it with this to see if it works, because I swear, like, during my luteal phase, it's kind of downhill for me. I don't know. My vitamin D. Now that I have a dog, I do go outside more often, but before that, I used to just be in the house for like several days and then not even notice that I never went outside, which is kind of crazy. But one time when I did go to the doctor, they did say like my vitamin D levels were low. I feel like everybody's vitamin D level is low, so I just take a supplement. I have my women's daily vitamins, which I got from Target. I really do like these because it's like a full panel of vitamins and minerals. Look at the back of the label of your vitamins, because some vitamins don't even come with a lot of minerals. I like these because it has iron, calcium, biotin, copper, selenium. It has like the full range of minerals. The drawback, these pills are freaking humongous, y'all. Like, these are my harder to swallow pill. I don't know why this one is broken, but these pills are huge, but I just suck it up. And I've kind of been like on a hunt for a supplement to help with like focus and brain health. I've never been diagnosed, but I feel like I do have ADHD symptoms. I know like everybody be saying that, but just things that I noticed, I think I do have ADHD. That in combination with like other stuff, I feel like I got going on like hormonally, it could be kind of hard sometimes. That's why I feel like my luteal phase is sometimes very hard, and I feel like I just regress a lot with a lot of my goals, weight loss or productivity goals, everything in combination. I feel like it kind of works against it. So I don't know, y'all. I have some magnesium. By the way, both of these are my husband pills. I just take them because he doesn't use them, so like it benefits me. I'm pretty sure like this is expired. I don't care. I don't really see, I'm not gonna lie, I always say I don't see a difference with some stuff, but then the moment I stop taking it, then I'm like, oh, that's what it did. I don't really see a difference with the magnesium. I heard it helps with like mood and maybe like sleep and stuff, but right now I don't really see that major of a difference taking these. My multivitamin already comes with magnesium, probably not as much, definitely, but. And last but not least, I had purchased these Calm and Focus pill with Zembrin and GABA. I don't take these consistently to really notice a change, but I do try to take them if I'm like under some stress and I need like extra focus. Would I recommend these? I don't know yet. Like, I feel like I haven't taken them long enough. And those are my supplements. Hey guys, so it's actually almost 6 o'clock p.m. I ended up skipping lunch, but not on purpose. I had actually spoiled my lunch, my appetite, because I decided after the smoothie I wanted a bagel and some chips and a cup of coffee. So then I wasn't hungry by the time lunchtime came around. And then by the time it was time for me to get off work, it was time for me to go somewhere else. And now it's dinner time. For dinner, I have my meal prep. This is a cheesy ground beef meal. It's actually so good. I know it looks like kind of like beef stroganoff. So I cooked some ground beef with some pepper and onions. Actually, Victoria Marie put me onto this type of meal. It's so good. So it's ground beef, and then I added cream cheese, Greek yogurt, and some queso, and a little bit of shredded mozzarella to make it creamy. Oh, you turn on the light for me? My skin looks so oily. It's hot outside, y'all. Oh my gosh. My skin tends to be more oilier when I wear makeup. It makes no sense. Okay, so I have that, and then I have some shredded cabbage that I make. My husband swears I make the best cabbage. I think I put my soul in this cabbage right here. This joint is so, I put some of the juice from the ground beef. I didn't throw it out, y'all. I mixed it into the cabbage, and it just gives it like a nice meaty, rich flavor. It's so freaking good. I make my cabbage like Asian style, so it has like an Asian flavor. It's a little spicy and everything. It's so good. And then I have some sweet potatoes that came in like in a steamable bag. They're kind of mushy. I don't like it, but it was quick and easy. I just put it in the microwave, and then in the bag I opened it and then added some honey, salt, and cinnamon. I should have added some brown sugar, but it's fine. So that's my dinner. I wonder how this ground beef would taste like in some pasta. Now that I mentioned the beef stroganoff is what it reminds me of, this would probably be so good in pasta. After I finish my dinner, I'm gonna do my Bible study with y'all. I didn't have time to do it after I got work. I did read my chapter, but I didn't really have time to like write the scripture and stuff because I had to leave for an appointment. So I'll be back. This segment is going to go into the Bible study, but I'm also going to share a little bit of my story and be vulnerable because a series of events happened today, and I'm just going to share and allow God to use me as a vessel for whoever else is out there that could probably relate. Back in 2019, I had actually quit my job. That's the same year I got saved, and it was a lot of stuff going on. I was finally getting closer to God. Like, I've never experienced anything like this before in my life. To this very day, you can't convince me that God is not real, because he has shown me so many things. I've had so many experiences when I got saved. I couldn't even write it all in a book, to be honest. I got saved. I felt the pull when God had told me to quit my job. Basically, I just felt like I was just made for more. Made for more in this life. You know how it is. And that job was really stressing me out. It was very unfulfilling. Like, I'm gonna be honest, most jobs that I work are not fulfilling to me. They're not really my passion. It's not really something that I want to do, but more so have to do. That has been one of my biggest struggles in life. Very clearly, he told me to quit my job. So I did, and that's spiraled and cascade into like a whole lot. I was basically living off my savings account. I had donated like a huge portion of that to my church because he told me to do it. People probably thought I was under spiritual psychosis, probably thought I was crazy or that I was hearing things. You know how it is. And we ended up selling our home. This was in 2020 when this happened. We ended up selling our home, but the way the events lined up was so crazy. It was only God that could do it. So because this was in the midst of a pandemic, this happened right when I forgot what incentive this was to help people who were going through the pandemic, but basically we didn't have to pay our mortgage for like a month or something, and it was happening all in the process while we were selling our home. I didn't have to pay, I'm sorry, let me backtrack. I had ran out of money out of my savings. Okay, this is the moment that I ran out of money out of my savings, and I'm thinking that God is gonna, he did come through, but not in the way that I expected. So I'm thinking maybe he's gonna send a check in the mail. I'm thinking something's gonna happen. I'm like, okay, God, I don't have any more money left. I've been living off my savings for like almost a year. Like, I'm waiting for you to come through. And that's when the pandemic hit. So I basically had no bills to pay, but we did have to sell our home because I wasn't working. It was very difficult to find a job. I'm scrambling to find a job because I'm like, okay, maybe I do have to go ahead and go back to work. I have not been working for almost a year at this point. So I'm scrambling, looking for jobs. Nobody's hiring. Everything's falling through. And I'm like, what's going on? I was very confused. Like, I thought you told me to do this, but nothing's working out. I'm thinking that you're going to send some money through the mail or something. But he did provide it in a sense where I did not have to pay anything. So that in itself was a blessing, because what was I going to do? In hindsight, I realized this, but back then I was very upset, especially when you're thinking something different is going to happen. Other people were upset with me, which was valid, because they don't understand your walk with God. They can only understand from their point of view. We ended up selling our home, and we had to move back in with my husband's mother. I'm not gonna lie, that was one of the most hardest times in my life, besides the first hardest time that I'm going to get into. Moving back felt like a failure to me, and it also felt like God betrayed me in a sense. Like I said, I was anticipating, you know, maybe I can get my dream job or something, but like nothing was pulling through. I ended up having to get a job that I hated even worse than the last job I quit. Do you hear me? I hated it even more. That happened, and it took me a while to try to find this job, and it was basically me settling just to get anything, because at this point I'm like, I have to work because I have no money. At this point, I had also graduated with a master's degree, so while I wasn't working, I was also pursuing my master's degree. It was mostly an online program, and so I was at home doing that for the most part, and my YouTube channel. And I had just graduated with a master's degree, and can you imagine having to move back in with a master's degree, and then you're at a job that you hate even worse than the last job? And I was getting paid $10 less than the last job. Yes, so I was very, very, very upset, and I was very depressed. I'm not gonna lie. The area that we particularly lived in did not have much sunlight, and if you ever suffered with depression, you know the last thing you need to do is be confined in an area with no sunlight. And I'm not gonna lie, I had suicidal ideations as well. And then on top of that, later on I was pregnant, so it was just a lot going on top of this. Like, I'm not even going into all the details, to be honest, because some of that stuff is private, but I was severely depressed. You know, I'm working on my YouTube channel. Nothing is really coming out of that. I thought my YouTube was gonna be popping at that point. Maybe I was gonna get paid through there. Nothing that I thought was gonna happen ever happened. But God had his own plans, and he knew what he was doing, and he was refining my character through that situation, but I couldn't really see it or sense it at that moment because I was really consumed in my negative emotions. I feel like that's where my addiction to TikTok really came through. While I was looking for a job before I got the job that I did at that time, I would spend my whole day literally either applying for a job or doom scrolling on TikTok just to get some type of relief or comfort. And it's so funny because I was thinking earlier today, and I'm gonna circle back around to why all this even happened. TikTok provided like a sense of relief and comfort for me because it was like a connection to other people, maybe people who were going through similar things as you, or it was just like a moment just to laugh, just to forget about my problems. I have moved forward from that situation since, but it was a really hard time for me and a lot of wrestling with God. I was just thinking like the root cause of a lot of things that I've struggled with to this very day come from my past abuse. I've talked about this a couple of times, I think. So basically, growing up in the household that I did with a single mom, given the background that she's come from, my mom is a Haitian woman and she was an older woman. A lot of times they treat their kids with a strict hand, and that's what my mom did with me, unfortunately, with her kids in general. Let's just be honest. And I do know now that abuse is passed forward. It just doesn't come out of nowhere. You have to experience it in order to do it to other people. So I understand now, as a grown woman, I understand where that came from. But as a child, I really hated my mom. I'm not gonna lie. Like there was like so many memories flooding to me about me, you know, getting into fights with my mother, her hitting me over every little thing. Like with cleaning, that was one of my triggers. Even after I moved out of my mom's house, I'm in my own home, mind you. I'm cleaning, but as I'm cleaning, I'm getting bombarded and triggered with memories from me in my mom's house. Cleaning, nothing is ever good enough. And then her coming home, I'm having like a panic attack or anxiety because I know when she comes home, she's gonna find something to fight with me about, and she's gonna hit me. And that happened all the time, continuously throughout my whole childhood, even up until I was a teenager, up until I moved out the house. I moved out the house out of pure chaos, fighting. I knew God was trying to build my character and trying to get me to build boundaries, basically because it's like, how are you going to thrive in your purpose if you can't build boundaries? You need to have a fence around yourself so that you can allow good things in and keep bad things out. I can't give you what you want because you're gonna lose it in 2 seconds because you can't say no. And that was my issue. My self-esteem was at an all-time low. My self-worth, my value was at an all-time low. You can't really run a business if you don't know who you are. Especially if you don't know who you are in Christ, matter of fact. So I knew I was going through these situations in my life because of that root of abuse. And God had to eradicate that out of me. It's like he hears my prayers, he hears what I'm asking for, but it's like now is not the time because I have to fix your character from what you've been through. And it's so funny that in my Bible study, I already know God, like I already know, like if I read the Bible or if I read a devotion, I know it's going to speak to what I was just going through. Because before all this, what triggered this whole thing was that I was asked to write a blog post for a website, His Daughter Closet. I've been following Morgan for a while, since I first got saved, which is so crazy because I was like, oh my gosh, I done known her for like since 2019 really, so for like 7 years. And she presented me with the opportunity to possibly contribute to her blog. So I wrote the blog post. As I was writing it, I can kind of sense that it wasn't really that detailed, or it didn't really go into who I was as a person or what had me writing what I wrote about. So she asked me to go into detail about myself. I didn't really know what to write about. I don't know, sometimes I like to downplay what I've been through because it's like, oh, you know, I've had people say to me, oh, you know, that's just how Haitian people are. That's how they treat their kids. You know, as some people, it does not affect them at all. They can get, you know, beat since they was kids, and it has no effect to them at all. I think it's like certain people, especially sensitive people such as myself, I consider myself a sensitive person, that stuff will stick to them. And that's why I felt like the stuff stuck to my soul, and it traumatized me. It really dictated how I moved as an adult. Like I said, not being able to set boundaries, saying no, thinking that I'm less than other people, a lot of insecurities. So this root, in hindsight, causing the many issues that I currently had in life. It's not because you don't have any discipline. It's not because you don't have any willpower. It's because of these spiritual roots that you need to sever that are attacking you on a daily basis. It's funny that I'm just now coming to realize, because I was like, you know what? My uncontrolled eating, my tendency to resort to sweets and junk food and fried food whenever I feel down, or my tendency to binge scroll whenever I'm trying to avoid a negative emotion, these aren't issues of willpower or because I'm not disciplined enough. It's issues from my past hurt of trauma and abuse. Okay, so how this ties into the Bible study, in Jeremiah 31, after Israel got sent into captivity into Babylon under King Nebuchadnezzar, God was still trying to plead with them lovingly. He was telling them that he's going to bring them back into their own land. Even though he broke their covenant, he still loves them, and he's going to provide them with a new covenant. He still wanted them, and he still loved them. And I find that so crazy that even time that I literally just asked God this not too long ago. I did not plan on crying. Oh my gosh, but whatever. I find it so crazy that I literally just asked God this like not too long ago. I said, why are you so kind to me even though I keep messing up? Like, honestly, I beat myself more up than God would ever treat me. And you know, we all fall short, but like, he's never been unkind to me. Meanwhile, it's like we can barely have patience for each other, but I always find that God is always still drawing me back over to him, even after I mess up, even after I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore, I want to quit. Even if I think of him negatively, he will still find some way or somehow to reach out to me, and I don't understand it. We can see that right here with Israel. It's just part of his nature. Even his very people that were rebellious, that broke contracts with him, that basically he said, you know, screw you, we're gonna do anything that we want, and then turn around and beg him to come save them after they done messed up. He still loved them. And I'm just like, gosh. So the verse that I highlighted in my Bible study was that restrain your voice from weeping. I just find this so funny. I'm sorry, but like, those of you who do not have a relationship with God, how do you cope with life? Because I literally cannot do it. I literally can't do it. If you don't believe in God, I'm just like, how? Who do you lean on yourself, on your own strength? I can't do it, because if I had to rely on my own strength, because I'm so weak, I can't do it. I cannot do life without God. It says, restrain your voice from weeping and your eyes from tears, for your work will be rewarded, says the Lord, and your children will return from the enemy's land. So the reason why that verse stuck out to me, because I was literally just, you know, after the blog is what, you know, kind of got me to thinking about my past, because I was trying to think of what to write, and that's what kind of like had me thinking about all this. Some of the stuff like I buried, like tomorrow I probably won't even feel no type of ways. A lot of the stuff I have healed from it, but of course, as you peel back layers and then layer stuff that, you know, was dormant, it's gonna come up, right, emotionally. But I was thinking, was all this even worth it? Sometimes I just want to quit. I don't want to keep going on and recording videos, and like, you know, sometimes I feel like my effort is not being rewarded. I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like, is this even worth it? But time and time again, God shows me like, keep doing what you're doing. It's going to be worth it in the end. Verse 12 says, there is confident hope for your future, says the Lord. So I know all this is not for nothing, and to be honest, what else would I be doing anyways? Like, I wouldn't be doing anything else with my life, to be honest. It is like purposeful to serve the Lord and to do it like you're working for him and not working for a man's applaud or approvals. Yeah, that's the place where I'm at now. I don't like being vulnerable like this because I don't want to be like crying and stuff, but as Morgan asked me to share my story, then I say, why not share my story on here too, right? So I'll probably come back later tonight as I'm wrapping up my nighttime routine, because I want to show you guys my hair oil and show you like how I apply that in my head. So yeah, thank you for listening. May the Lord be with you in all your troubles and worries and anxieties and any healing that you still have to go through. The pain is not for nothing. I'm finding out God does not waste anything. Like, even in nature, if you think of a plant, the roots, the stem, the leaves, the actual bud of the flower, all of it is useful and has its purpose. So you think your pain that you're going through, your tears, your sorrows, is not worth anything? God said he collects our tears in a jar and saves them for us. So anything that you're going through, don't think that God is like just torturing you for no reason. It's not to torture you, but it's to strengthen you. I'm going to start to wind down for the night and get into my nighttime routine and settle in. Girl, it's been a day. Every 3 days, I like to spray my hair concoction. This is rosemary water, and I also mixed, I can't find the bottle, but I also mixed some rice water, elixir, whatever from the Dollar Tree, and I put it in here, and it started to like mix really weirdly, so I'm thinking I probably shouldn't have mixed it in there, but whatever. So I just spray this on my scalp. The reason why I like having box braids as a protective style is because the smaller that you do the braids, the more the smaller that you do the braids, the more access of your scalp that you have, and the more access of your scalp that you have, the more you can do hair growth remedies like elixirs and oils. So basically, I'm trying to grow my hair out like really long. Right now it's about armpit length, which I feel like it's been at that length for like the longest time. I did see a little bit of growth between last year and this year, so that's good, but I'm trying to like long like this. So I've been having fun creating concoctions, and the one thing about the spray, obviously it's mostly water. I find that when I use that, I used to use it every day because I was so like pressed to get it to grow, and it did grow, but when I would take my hair out of the protective style, I would have moisture overload. Like my hair would be really like stretchy. I just knew like I overdid it. So now I set an alarm on my phone every 3 days, not an alarm but a reminder every 3 days to spray and oil my scalp, so that I'm not doing it every single day. When you do something too much, sometimes there's no real benefit. And I have a little bit of my hair oil. I put a little bit in here, and I'm just gonna put that in my scalp. I'm not gonna lie, this stuff does smell like garlic and onion, but the smell goes away. That's why I do it at night, so that by tomorrow morning comes around, I don't really smell it like that, but it does eventually go away. Like I don't smell it the next day. Oh, I'm barely not getting anything because the herbs are like stuck inside the bottle, so I'm gonna have to fix this tomorrow. Right now, I don't feel like doing much of nothing. It's hot, I'm sweaty, I'm tired, I want to go to bed. I gotta wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. It's about 7 o'clock right now, so I like to start my nighttime routine at about 7 p.m. so that I have like an hour to prepare myself to get into bed and to get ready for tomorrow morning. I think I might go to the gym tomorrow. Yeah, I gotta get these herbs out of here because it's not allowing the oil to come through. For dessert, I'm thinking about doing like dessert every night, just a small little something to satisfy my sweet tooth. I wish I could be like a salty girl so bad. You know the girls that be like, oh, I don't eat sweets, I'm more of a salty girl. I wish I could be that, but I'm just gonna have to accept the fact that I am a sweets girl. Okay, I love sweets. The oil is tingling my hair right now. I think it's the Kanye pepper, which I kind of like, because I feel like the tingling or the pulsating of your scalp stimulates hair growth. God is helping me to realize that my desires are not necessarily wrong, but they are misdirected in the wrong places. So for example, I like sweets. Okay, snack on fruits. Make your own little concoction so that you're not binging on junk food or processed foods that aren't necessarily good for you. I'm not saying like you can have those every once in a while, but like every single day is not the best for your health. If you're binge scrolling, it's not that what you're desiring is wrong, like connection, real life relationships, but it's being misdirected in the wrong location. I used to make this all the time on my fitness journey like a couple of years ago, but I stopped making it for some reason. And this, I might show you guys tomorrow how I make it, but it's basically like, you ever see those mug cakes in the store? Like how they have the packet of mug cakes? This is basically like a healthier version of that. It has protein powder. For my flour base, I put Kodiak protein pancake mix. It has applesauce, sugar-free chocolate chip cookies, chocolate pudding. Yeah, I discovered this recipe on TikTok. Girl, I had to bless that girl's soul because she unlocked something for me, and I make this stuff like all the time, and it satisfies my sweet tooth. It's like a fudgy cake texture. I was going so far, I was putting cookie butter in here, but I had to reel it back like, okay, you're doing too much. And it kind of defeats the purpose. This is good. And this is a nice serving. And it's not gonna like ruin your progress because there's like protein, fiber, good carbs. Okay, y'all, that's it for today. I'm going night-night. See you at 4 a.m. tomorrow. You with it? You waking up 4 a.m. tomorrow? No? Oh, okay. Bye.